What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron Baker from Phone Dog, and I've got an exciting device in my hands that utilizes a pretty different business model than what we're used to in the wireless industry. It's a Republic Wireless Motorola Defy XT. Now, the Defy XT has been around for some time, and the specs aren't breaking by any means. You've got a 3.7-inch display, a 5-megapixel camera. You're running an older version of Android. It's not the greatest device when it comes to specifications. It's not a power device by any means, but what makes this device unique is the service plan. Republic Wireless runs on a couple different fronts. Sprint's 3G as a backup, but it runs on Wi-Fi and hopes that you use Wi-Fi, and as a result, you get unlimited texting, unlimited calling, and unlimited web browsing for $19 per month. The device itself is $249. It's $10 to set it up, so you're paying $259 out the door, but you're getting service for $19 a month with Sprint's 3G as a backup. Is this worth considering, especially as we're kind of rolling into the holiday season for that last-minute gift? Should you get something like this? We'll find out in the full review. But first, special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices from T-Mobile, AT&T, Sprint, and Verizon for use in our One Paw Bandit giveaway game. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you'll walk out working. They're going to get your email, your web, your contact set up. So if you decide this isn't the device for you and you go with something else at Best Buy Mobile will make sure you're hooked up and ready to go when you walk out the door. Let's take a look at this, and I'm particularly interested to see, what older device, the specs aren't as awesome, but is the trade-off great $19 service? Is it worth spending $19 and dealing with a less powered device, or should you go with that high-end device and spend $100 per month on AT&T or Verizon? Let's find out in the full review of the Republic Wireless Motorola Defy XT, which starts right now. If you're used to seeing the devices we typically review at Phone Dog, this probably looks a little bit weird because there have been a ton of high-end devices that have come out this holiday season. This one is a little bit older when it comes to specifications, but it's bringing with it some new service that I think for a lot of people is going to be really, really great. This is the Motorola Defy XT, and it's nothing new, but it's powered by Republic Wireless, which is a new mobile virtual network operator that utilizes Sprint cell sites, their 3G cell sites, for backup coverage. But their real win here is its Wi-Fi calling, and they offer a fantastic plan for $19. There's only one plan. It's $19 a month. You get unlimited texting, unlimited emailing, and unlimited calling for $20, less than $20 a month. And you don't have to worry about using some of it on Wi-Fi or all of it on Sprint or all of it on Wi-Fi. You can use it how you see fit. What Republic Wireless is hoping is that you use Wi-Fi as much as possible, but they've got the Sprint stuff as a backup just in case you're not in an area with Wi-Fi. That said, the service isn't without its kinks. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the review, but let's go over a quick review of this device itself because specs-wise, it is a little bit older than the devices that are currently on the market. Just to give you an idea, this retails for $249. It's shipping right now. There's a $10 setup fee to get this thing ready to go, so you're paying $259 out of pocket. Not too bad at all. It's a little bit pricey in comparison to, $100 on AT&T on contract or $200 on AT&T on contract, but keeping in mind that you're only paying $19 a month for service, I think for a lot of people that are just starting on smartphones, people that don't use their phones on a regular basis and don't need a $100 a month plan, this is going to be a great option for them. Specs-wise, this thing is packing a 1 gigahertz single-core processor, a 3.7-inch display, so much smaller than what we're used to on the current devices. 5-megapixel camera on the back. It's got a 1,650 milliamp hour battery. I should add that the camera shoots video, though it doesn't shoot video in HD. It's 480p on the video camcorder. And then, like I said, 1,650 milliamp hour battery. It's got Android 2.3, so an old version of Android out of the box. And so, again, this is not going to be the power-hungry thing by any means, so keep that in mind. And you can really see that the 1 gigahertz processor, it moves relatively fast for day, or it's okay, I should say, for day-to-day use, but if you're used to working with a current Android device at all, it's not going to fit your needs. That said, like I said, I still see a great market, great segment for a lot of people. So obviously I'm running on Sprint 3G right now. We'll go through the applications that come out of the gate. Battery Manager is a featured one. You got FM radio and flashlight. The good thing about this is you have no carrier installed bloatware. You've got media search, and then you've got, let's see, your media service rather. You've got Republic Wi-Fi set up. You've got ring mode, voice commands. I can go into ring mode, for example, and see, my default ring and vibrate. Here's when I want it to be silent. Here's outdoor mode. I can switch those ring modes around as I see fit. But really, there's no carrier installed bloatware. Republic Wi-Fi setup is the only thing. So I can start here and connect to a Wi-Fi network. And let me pull this back here so I can connect to the one at work. And like I said, when you can connect to Wi-Fi, that's a fantastic thing. Here's what's kind of interesting about it, though. And while that connects, forgive me, we'll wait for this to connect up here and see what we can do. So Republic Wi-Fi, there we go. So here's the issue that I'm running into with the Wi-Fi setup. My office Wi-Fi is password protected, or not just password protected, there's a splash screen, much like when you go to Starbucks. I have to enter in my office ID and my office password to access our Wi-Fi internet. Same thing obviously over here on this device, but what you'll find is that the green indicates that the Wi-Fi is turned on and you can make a phone call. So let's go into the phone call area, for example, and do a phone call. We'll go to the call log, and actually I reset it. So I think it's 908-229-1448 if I remember right, is our demo phone number over here. It's a demo phone that I have over in the corner. And you can see that even though it requires a splash screen, it still allows me to call out. And that's in this particularly interesting. So we'll dial out. And you can hear it dialing. It's on speaker. I thought it was on speaker. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it is on speaker. And it's dialing right now. And let's see what we can do. And you'll see it ring over here on the PR device as well. So you got it ringing right now, even though it requires a splash screen, but then you'll see when I go into the browser and I load this up, it's going to bring up the splash screen, as you can see right there, and it's asking me to sign in with web authentication. Authentication. It's hard to say 3 times fast, especially on camera. So obviously, that's something to keep in mind. And it's something that I find particularly interesting, because if you're not in an area, or if you have a splash screen, that could be an issue for a lot of people. Otherwise, fantastic service. If you're in an area with, an unsecure wireless network, or you're at home, this is going to be a great option. And again, keeping in mind the price point, I think it's really nice all around. You're going to see Android 2.3 all around on this device. For example, right here, and you see the Gmail account. You can see the older version of Gmail running on Android 2.3. Notification bar right here. You don't get, outside of the shortcuts up here, you don't get any static. You can of course move back and forth through those, but you don't have the static link to your settings. And of course, just to give you a quick recap on Android 2.3 as a whole, I can press to hold, I can add wallpapers, widgets, and more, and actually use this custom font that I selected prior to the start of the video. So we're going to set wallpaper right here. We'll make this the wallpaper. And again, you can see it's a slower device. This isn't going to bother somebody that's new to a smartphone, a first-time smartphone user, perhaps somebody that's looking to save money. I think you can look past it. That said, if you're used to working with a dual-core processor device or a quad-core processor device, you could have an issue. The keyboard's pretty nice. I find Motorola's keyboard to be pretty useful and easy to use. We'll say the Quick Brown Fox is happy. Let's do it in landscape mode. 3.7-inch display. Probably going to be easier to use in landscape. And again, hard for me to type on, again, after working with a 4.7 or 4.8-inch display, or even more. 4-inch on the iPhone 5, 5.5-inch on the Galaxy Note 2. You can see screen sizes have certainly gone up all across the board on various platforms. So going back to 3.7-inch display, a little bit harder. One thing I do like about this device, though, it's durable, and like I said, you can take advantage of Sprint's 3G network as a backend. So, when you're traveling, you don't have to rely on Wi-Fi. This isn't a Wi-Fi only service by any means. You can connect to Wi-Fi when you're at home and utilize your fast Wi-Fi speeds for web browsing, of course for calling and for text messaging. And then when you're on the road, you can use Sprint's 3G and access internet on the go. So it's not like when you leave a Wi-Fi hotspot, you're totally out of pocket. And the good thing is, like I said, Republic isn't focused, at least right now in their initial rollout, on making sure that you're using a certain amount of Wi-Fi or a certain amount of 3G. Fortunately, right now they're kind of giving you the leeway to kind of make that call as to when you want to use Wi-Fi and when you want to make 3G. But again, durable device as well. So $259, you're going to get a device that's not going to break very easily unless you power slam it down into the ground or do something crazy like that. Dust-proof and water-resistant construction over here. Scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass in the front. And like I said, a 5-megapixel camera on the back. And then, of course, you got this little lever here to remove the battery door. And it's locked in pretty heavily, locked in pretty securely, rather, until you press the lock and go to remove the device. So all in all, it's a relatively decent device. This is not the highest spec device in the land by any means, but you got to make a judgment call here. If you want to spend a little bit less money, get a plan for 19 bucks, go with this device. And I assume they're going to have better end devices as the service continues to roll out. They've already confirmed that they're going to have decent devices like perhaps some of the new Galaxy devices or some of the new HTC One Series devices. I hope to see more around the $300 to $400 price point, because I think, for some people they can still afford that. Get a mid-range to a low high-end device, take advantage of a faster unit, and still get that great $19 service. But for their first rollout, they're doing a great job here, and for $259, yeah, you're getting a little bit less on the device side, but you're gaining on the month-to-month service fees. And I don't know about you, I'm not good at math, but even somebody that's as bad as math as I am, 19 bucks is going to add up over the course of 6, 8, 10, 12 or even 24 months. Keep it locked on PhoneDog.com for continuing coverage of the Republic Wireless Motorola Defy XT. It's the first in a breed of mobile virtual network operators that are coming back into the States with, given the fact that services and prices are high. This is a great alternative for a lot of people. Keep it locked on the site for continuing coverage. Let me know what you think of this device on Twitter at Aaron C. Baker or at PhoneDog_Aaron. And then let me know what you think on Facebook, Facebook.com/PhoneDog. Thanks so much for watching. More to come, not just on this device, but on prepaid devices as a whole as we continue covering all the different realms in the wireless industry. I'll see you next time.